Hi there, welcome to your prosperity reading. This reading is going to cover the part of fortune in your chart and how prosperity works when it comes to the part of fortune. So, this is an energy that's considered lucky, fortunate. It's connected to the sun, moon, and rising. So, the part of fortune calculates your sun, moon, and rising and comes up with a space in your chart that is basically what the summation of your top three would be. And so this is why it's considered lucky, because it's connecting to your ego, your nourishment, and your ability to impress other people. So the part of fortune becomes lucky because it's about you. So you have the part of fortune in the third house in the sign of Capricorn. And Capricorn is an energy that is all about business. And in the third house, we've pretty much discussed this because I just came off of your Venus, that the third house is connected to communications, the neighborhood, things like that. So right away, I sense that this could be an energy of prosperity in being connected to business in your neighborhood. So you could be a business person who creates small businesses in the neighborhood. Maybe you open up a laundromat, or you open up a beauty store or a fitness studio. These are some things that I don't know how close or far where you are to this, but it's one way that this could manifest, as Capricorn is seeking to be at the top and is seeking to create a system of business, and the third house is the local community and neighborhood. Now, this could also be connected to making business through speaking. This could be somebody who's a speech writer. And there are actually very prestigious positions where people write speeches for other people. You might be somebody who is the orator, so the person who's delivering some sort of communications or writing. Now, I did say speech, but this could also be script writing as well. So the ability to basically create something of a prestigious nature, a formal type of writing material. So you could also be someone who maybe is really good at resumes or helps people with their resumes. That could be something that also happens here, because the third house is the house of language and communications. So you naturally have an ability to be understood by people, to understand people. You also may have a great ability to understand people from different walks of life. However, Capricorn can be someone who is looking to not just accept people for basically where they're at, but helping them to become better, more prestigious in their own right. And so your lot of fortune, the part of fortune, is a place that expands you, but it also expands other people because it's connected to wealth. So it's like people get more wealthier, you get more wealthier. You get wealthier, people get wealthier. And so it's about who you're also bringing along with you, or whoever you're allowing to park in your lot. So people could also hire you or want you for how you speak, what you say, or what you're writing for, right? So you could be an in-demand writer, where Capricorn is in your chart in this third house. You could be somebody that has a reputation that is beyond you. And this would be something that's easy for you to do. So a lot of the times we don't really always tap into our fortunate areas of the chart. And if you have it, you might be, well, how is it that someone would seek me when I haven't really touched into this? So all it takes is some sort of activity towards this. So you might create a podcast or do a vlog. A blog would even demonstrate some sort of skill of orator, language, writing. It's something about the style and the way that you write that people, when they see it, when they hear it, they're going to want to use it. The third house is a house of mimicking. So people often can mimic your swag, your style, because the third house connected to communications, also like our attitude, the way we walk, the swag that we have. And so people might want to mimic your swag, your style, your way of language. You might become somebody who like uses a very like a very expansive word, and now everybody wants to use that word. It could be something that's similar. The third house people want to mimic you. They want to be like you. And you also could be somebody who can actually work with the inflections of your voice. That's why podcasting could be good here. This could be somebody who is really good at like voiceovers or like the voices in cartoons and things like that. You might have a skill here that you haven't unblocked, but if you have already, then you will understand that the part of fortune actually satisfies you just as much as it satisfies your opportunity for wealth. So again, it's a calculation of your sun, moon, and rising. So it becomes something that you end up really liking. So if you haven't tapped into this and you have a little resistance, keep in mind that once you find your flow, it would be something that would fulfill your life. It would be something where you're like, happiness is a word that I use with prosperity, because the feeling of prosperity is this choice to be happy. And the choice to be happy is to kind of like love what we already have. And there's not as much wanting when we're happy, because you're happy in the state that you are, right? So the part of fortune can be one of the tools that gets you to happiness. But it does require us to energize it. But once you do, you're realizing how easy it is. You start to be happy with what you can do, just with your own skills and talents. It starts to satisfy you. Whereas if you're wanting something that might take a long time, tapping into your part of fortune for just that day, for just that week, might give you kind of the boost, give you the push that you need to go toward your dreams and endeavors, because it brings you back into that happiness frequency. And this is your personal cosmic blueprint. So everybody has a part of fortune somewhere in their chart. But for you, it's based off of language. Now, the third house is also connected to hands. So sign language is definitely something that I think a lot of people who have part of fortune in the third house should take up as a hobby, because its connection to language and hands is undeniable, and it really energizes this part of your chart. This could be something that is not that you take as seriously, even though your part of fortune may want to. But to go towards things that use your hands is huge. So also typing, painting, but I just really feel like sign language is a missing art that is needed and really satisfies the third house in so many ways. You also could pick up being a translator, so somebody who understands different languages and interprets them. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a distinct language, because I've seen people who have part of fortune, or people who just have really good language skills, and they're able to, help clarify dialects. Like when people have different dialects, different twangs from different parts of the world or of the nation, like you need somebody to interpret things. This also becomes that. Now, I'm not sure if there's an art or a vocation that allows that, but definitely interpreter. So these also are ESL teachers, people who help kids from different places get to learn language. And the third house is very much so kid-like. It's connected to our more youthful 3-year-old side of us. So also being around younger energy could be very stimulating and help to energize your part of fortune. But ultimately, I also see it as a podcasting place. I know I've already said that, but if you haven't done anything like that, this would be a great thing to try, and consider it a skill or a hobby to development, unless you really want to take something seriously. And where the part of fortune is in your chart, again, if you're going to take it seriously, that means you're making it into a business for yourself. You're making it into something beyond just a hobby. But first, you might just want to see if it's a skill that you enjoy sharpening. So that is your part of fortune, your prosperity reading, and I hope that this will help you. I will also be providing for you an ebook PDF for this part of your chart. Peace and love.